It's not one thing, it's another. Let's talk about my gallbladder. Yo, what's going on, everybody? So if you're new here, my name is Joe, and I'm just documenting a weight loss journey for people to follow. If you're not new here, you will know it has not been a linear journey. There's been ups and downs. I gained a lot of the weight back in December and January when I got married and went on my honeymoon and stuff. So here we are today. And if you could tell from the beginning clip of this video, I do have to get my gallbladder removed. And in this video, we'll kind of talk about some of the appointments I've gone to, some symptoms I had, diagnosis, treatment, and why this happens when you're losing weight. So let's get right into it. Why does this happen? Why, when you're losing weight, do you have problems with your gallbladder? But when you're losing when you have accelerated weight loss and you're losing a lot of weight in a short period of time, your liver starts producing more cholesterol. When your liver starts producing more cholesterol, it has to pass through your gallbladder. Well, when it passes through your gallbladder, that excess cholesterol can cause sludge and or stones, which can prevent your gallbladder from producing and releasing the bile that it needs to release to break down fats, which in turn can make you sick, make you not feel well, and also can cause your gallbladder to contract less and not spit out the bile it needs to spit out. So how did I start noticing I was having issues in general with my gallbladder? Well, in October of 2021, I had really bad pain in the area. I was getting like sick to my stomach and stuff, so I went to my gastroenterologist, told him I was having that pain, so he ordered a HIDA scan and an ultrasound. So when he ordered that HIDA scan and ultrasound, I went for the ultrasound first, then they recommended I go and get the HIDA scan, so did that, and what they found was that I had an EF, efficiency function, of like 31, 32%, and typically like a really healthy gallbladder is around 80, but healthy is considered over 50. And to my knowledge, anything under, I believe it's 40, it needs to be removed. Well, I was given those results, wasn't given a course of action, wasn't referred to go to anywhere, wasn't told to get it removed, and later on in the story we'll get to how I found out I have to have it removed. So some of the symptoms I was having that led to me just kind of getting it checked out and stuff like that, I was having the nausea, the vomiting, diarrhea, pain in my stomach, indigestion, and then it just happened often. Like sometimes, and I know they say when you eat fatty foods, it was happening when I was eating like anything, which was kind of concerning. So kept happening. If you watch previous videos, you'll know in like March or April of last year, I was having problems with like dehydration. I was outside, I had a heat stroke at one point, and yeah, so I had that heat stroke, called the ambulance, didn't want to go to the hospital, just rehydrated myself, and luckily I was okay. Moved on. I'm very stubborn. I don't like going to the hospital. Let's fast forward to September of last year. So September of last year, I always have a history of like, I'll get sick to my stomach, of diarrhea, and that's it. September, I had a dessert one night. Didn't feel well after it. All night, just couldn't sleep. Felt sick to my stomach. Around 6 in the morning, just started uncontrollably throwing up for like hours on end, projectile vomiting. And that's not like me. Like I've said, I don't throw up really. Very rarely. I mean, I can count it on one hand probably the amount of times I've thrown up in my life. And ever since I first noticed any issue with like my gallbladder area, I noticed I was like throwing up. I've thrown up a few times since then, and that's not normal for me. So I did end up going to the ER that day, and they gave me all the typical stuff they give when you're sick to your stomach. And they gave me like a concoction, and it could be your gallbladder. They didn't really do the test there. They weren't, I don't know, they just didn't. I guess they did their due diligence as much as they could have. I already had the scan, so what are they going to do? Go do it again? And it's as simple as that. So let's fast forward to right around probably early last month. I was away on a trip, and I had two inguinal hernias that sometimes they'll pop out and bother me really bad when I'm like exercising. I heard of them in a baseball game years ago, and yeah, they just bother me sometimes. So I went to go to my primary care doctor. He said, yeah, you have the hernias right now. This is right like after I got back from my trip from hiking. Went to the general surgeon to get them checked out because I'm like, this is ridiculous. It hurts so bad sometimes. I just need to get it fixed. Well, it turns out that when I went, he sent me to get a CT scan done. When I got the CT scan done, they saw everything, and I had an umbilical hernia in my stomach, but the hiatal hernias were nowhere to be found. So they're not going to fix something that's not there. So they must have. Sometimes they protrude, and sometimes they go back, and it's weird. It's bothersome, but it is what it is. Anywho, he did his due diligence before my appointment the day to see the results of the CT scan, and went back and had looked to see why I even ever had a scan and HIDA scan done of my gallbladder. Because evidently I was having issues with it. I talked to him about my weight loss. I told him I lost about 65 pounds last year. I did gain a lot of it back, but I lost the weight at that point, so it might have caused the problems to begin with. So we talked about it. He looked, and he just didn't understand how, given the percentage it was functioning, I wasn't recommended to go to him in the first place to get it removed, because obviously when it's at 30%, it's not functioning, and in turn, I'm going to have the issues that I was having with my stomach, with the pain, with the nausea, all that stuff. So he was kind of just not understanding why. So we talked about it, and kind of, once again, everything that was going on, the pros and cons of getting my gallbladder removed, and if, based on my weight now, I plan on going back to a certain weight. We talked about that. He said, virtually in the time frame I want to do it, if I do it, my gallbladder is only going to get worse. And it can go from we could take our time, schedule the surgery, get it done, to you're going to get rushed to the hospital and have to get it out right at that time. So I slept on it for the weekend. It was on a Friday. I had the appointment on Monday. I met with him again, and we decided to go ahead and schedule the surgery to get my gallbladder removed, to be proactive rather than reactive, because if it does indeed get infected, it can cause more problems in the long run rather than just getting it out now and not worrying about it. So did his due diligence, did all that stuff. So I am getting my gallbladder removed on this coming Thursday. It's Saturday right now. So what is that, like, treatment plan going to look like? They're going to remove it. I'm going to have a low-fat diet for pretty much ever. He said you can splurge once in a while, but just to be careful with what I eat. And then given I have the umbilical hernia, he's going to fix that. So I'm really going to be out of commission as far as exercise is concerned for about a month and a half. I have a 3-week appointment with him where he'll reevaluate and tell me what I can and can't do. So hopefully I'm healing fast and I could get back to kind of exercising and stuff in that period of time. But this is kind of what's going on. I'm not blaming anything on medication. A lot of people, when you look in the weight loss medication pages and forums, they'll say that the medication causes gallbladder problems. But from my research, it's not the medication directly that's causing you to have the gallbladder problems. It's the accelerated weight loss that causes you to have the gallbladder problems. And the medication is what assists you with that accelerated weight loss. That's my understanding of things. That's my takeaway from what I've read and what I've looked up. So my hope from getting this done is that I know sometimes when you get your gallbladder removed, some foods will bother you. I expect that to happen, but my hope is that my nausea is going to go down. I've had such bad indigestion problems. I hope that improves. I just hope a lot of the GI issues I have are not fixed, but get better from having this surgery done. And from this, what it sounds like, based on what he's told me, that's what's going to happen. So I'll hope for the best, I guess prepare for the worst, but that's what I have going on right now. So I'm going to be out of commission really for 6 weeks as far as lifting is concerned. So I guess it'll be extra important for that period of time to just really focus on my diet, I guess, and do what I can while being not as mobile as I usually am. He said it doesn't affect weight. My gallbladder is not keeping me from losing weight, having a bad gallbladder. I've done a little bit of research. There are some situations where that can happen. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I've said before, I'm kind of doing everything you have to do to lose weight, and I'm not losing weight at this moment. So it's kind of strange. I don't know if my body's not breaking down the fat like it should, but yeah, so it's just another little bump in the road for me. I'm going to have the surgery done, get back to what I got to do, get healthy, and yeah. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch the video. That's my story. That's where we are. If you could hit that subscribe button, I'd greatly appreciate it. Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear other stories about if you've had issues. Hopefully you haven't, but if you have, let me know your situation down below. Any questions, leave them down below. Leave a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.